Well, what a scene we have here. There's a real expectant buzz in the stadium, and the players on the pitch are raring to go any minute now. There's nothing quite like match day, especially here. This crowd doesn't do ordinary, and we should be in for something very special. There's the whistle. Jim, who do you reckon is pivotal?
David De Gea, simply because of the remarkable strides he's made to earn the worldwide respect that now exists. From an insecure, hesitant spell, he's grown into a supremely confident and assured character.
He would be the obvious choice, wouldn't he? He certainly has all the right qualities. And Zola! They want to be quick to recover this.
He almost caught everyone out there the way he just eked out the room to get the shot in.
Well, that is one way to stop him. Zola has got himself a free kick. Oh, it's not taken him long, and that's going to be a booking. Irwin. Forward tracking back like that, always appreciated by the crowd.
Yeah, listen, we often get critical of a forward's tackle, but that was squeaky clean.
Knocks it into space. Piqué is the guilty party there. The ref's been lenient here. I doubt he'll get too many more chances. And it's Palmer. Well read, and the danger is averted. Is it in? Yes, it's an own goal.
Well, that's really unfortunate. He'll be kicking himself at the moment, and believe me, I know how that feels.
Well, who saw that coming? It has certainly made things interesting.
Well, that's something you don't expect at a match like this, but I guess you'll have to take whatever way it comes, and very gratefully.
Some excellent tackling here, and that one a perfect example. Zola. Oh, facing up to his adversary. This is a formidable matchup.
Arsenal really can't go chasing this game too soon. Any rash decisions now could see them...
And a chance! And it's hoisted clear. Knocks it out wide. And here's Musiala. And real chance! And yes, it's there! And this is getting better and better.
Well, when it's pieced together as efficiently as that, it's a joy to watch.
So that's 2 now without reply.
We're looking at a very different game now. The command has been established.
Oh, that's a key interception. Davids. Now it's Cruyff. Arsenal are still behind as we reach out for half-time. Saliba kept aware, and it is reclaimed easily. Palmer. Liverpool finding their passes. Nothing wrong with that tackle. Ball won cleanly. Now it's Cruyff. Cruyff! And again the keeper stands strong.
Well, the keeper saved his team again here, Peter, but he needs more protection from this defence.
And it's Kaka. And that'll be the last act of the first half.
The own goal was symptomatic of their first half performance. They're not at it.
And we're off again.
Well, I think they have to be positive despite the scoreline. The one thing they don't want to do, Peter, is give away an early goal. But they can't afford to get too cagey either. So attack with real devilment, Go for that goal and see if they can unsettle them.
Oh, this looks sharp. Aubameyang. Well, he's not happy with that challenge, but the referee has let it go. Now it's Cruyff. No, that's been intercepted. Well, the idea was a good one. The execution of it, not quite so.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
Toure cuts it out.
Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn.
Well, a glitch with the rangefinder there, and evident annoyance.
His teammates are really annoyed with that, you know, and they have every right to be.
Oh, it's a promising build-up, this. Plenty of really nice passing. Nice sequence of passes, this. Oh, well played. Musiala. No, again there. And Aubameyang! And he looked every bit the assured keeper there.
Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played.
Tries to pass it through. Irwin. Quality ball. Now it's Kaka. And the through ball. And this is Cruyff. Oh, good ball. Chance for a shot! They've scored! The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Arsenal are such an adept counter-attacking team. They produced something out of nothing there. A few seconds was all it took for them to convert a defensive situation into a goal.
And it's Cruyff. Now, who's going to be first to this? Shapes to shoot! Really well taken goal. And with the match slipping away, they have hauled themselves off the canvas. That was fabulous. The most adept of touches, the smoothest of finishes.
Well, I think he knew all he had to do was get it under control, and it was always going to end up in the back of the net thereafter.
This has become one superb game of football.
Well, it's been an absolutely fabulous spell for them, and they're starting to look unstoppable. There could be more on the way. Don't you just love the level of intensity here? Neither is prepared to back down, and to be honest, that's how it should be.
No, there's no getting past him. It's really well defended. Batistuta. Lobbed in behind. Van Dijk promptly onto that, and that is that. Thinks a great chance! Yes, he's done it! And that may just do it! Wonderfully smooth, smart and slick.
It's the stuff you work on the training ground time and time again, and it came off.
Liverpool take the lead. Now it's just a question of holding on.
Well, the last moments now, Peter, are going to be very frantic. There's still time for a twist or two yet.
And just to confirm that the referee did issue a yellow card for that earlier incident. And it's PK. Now that looks a decent... Can he finish? He's scored! Dying minutes, and we're all square again. It was a great finish. He put it away with great poise, dead-eye accuracy.
That's expertly finished, and he's done that so often.
So all square with almost... And that's that. What a game. A contest of ferocity and marvellous talent from start to finish. Messi, voted man of the match, and deservedly so. Well, what a scene we have here. There's a real expectant buzz in the stadium, and the players on the pitch are raring to go any minute now. Well, the pre-match build-up has been fantastic. Now, the game itself. So off we go then. Kaká, a key player here, and not just for tactical reasons. This is his 400th appearance for the club.
Well, what a feat, Peter. This really does speak volumes about how much he dedicates himself and keeps himself in top condition for every one of those match days. He's a shining example for anybody.
And the shot! And that has earned a few nods of approval from the bench. And we have our very first corner. And it's hoisted clear. And now a sudden chance to counter. Well, that has not gone well. Kaká. Now it's Cruyff. Irwin. Well, there was an element of promise insofar as they kept the ball well, but they did very little with it. Nice interception. His positioning was spot on. Oh, some tackle that. Irwin. And it's Fernando Torres. Arsenal still without a single shot on target. Oh, good spread. Kaká. And he's been shifted off it. And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
While quality clearly deserted him. He's one-on-one! Kaká. And here's Cruyff. No, he's not getting any further than that.
Cruyff really needed to concentrate on protecting the ball. Then again, he was being very closely marshalled. Just as I thought, Peter, it looks like this is a side that's setting themselves up for a counter-attack.
Yeah, stand by for the early ball, the big one over the top.
Yeah, and those that are up top, Peter, have to be willing to chase. And, of course, those in midfield have to be ready now to recycle.
And they have got just the right players for that. Toure did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party... Can he finish? Oh, that is very close.
That's a great effort. There was very little backlift to indicate what was coming.
Bellingham is the distributor-in-chief, always looking for movers. And that's a nicely shaped ball. And the whistle goes for half-time. It hasn't been a bad watch, not by any means. The intensity levels are there. We've just lacked that telling breakthrough moment. How would you review the first half?
Well, simply put, Peter, they haven't been good enough to trouble the opposition. They need to play with more courage in the second half and a lot more intent.
An intriguing half, lacking only in goals. The score 0-0. And we are back underway.
Well, I suppose from a defensive perspective, Peter, neither manager can be too unhappy. I just wonder which team is going to up the ante first.
And he's well positioned here. No foul, says the referee. Irwin. Yaya Toure. Cafu. Van Dijk is someone so often referred to as the defender's defender. Irwin. And he's managed to get free. It's run loose. Who's going to get there? And this is Messi. Takes a shot! And it's in! And finally, he has breathed life into the game! That was a given. It always was.
And his manager couldn't look happier. That's the kind of interplay they've been working on in training, and it came off beautifully.
Arsenal have penetrated for the first time.
Well, it looks like a bit of half-time encouragement was all that was needed, because we have a very different game on our hands now, Peter.
That's going to go a long way. And it's Bellingham. He's tried one! What a hit! What a hit! A rocket anthem! He's got himself an absolute peach. And the lead lost no time at all.
Yeah, they say that fortune favours the brave, and we've just seen an example. This team has real personality and character.
It was a great finish. He put it away with great poise, dead-eye accuracy.
That's just a fabulous, fabulous finish. Anything that close to the frame of the goal, 99 times out of 100, the keeper's not getting there.
So the manager can make a change for the first time in the game here. And that has added a whole new complexion to the game.
Such a big goal, Peter. Just when the opposition thought they could turn the screw, they're back to square one again. The manager will be absolutely delighted with such a response.
Kaka. Rijkaard kept aware, and it is reclaimed easily. Davids eases the ball away from him. Driving through, shoots!
He did so well to create the room to get the shot away.
Zola with the short one. Neither of these two want to come off second best. Caught offside that time.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
And that's put paid to a promising move. And here's Zola. Aimed beyond the defence. Zola was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. Zola. This is intriguing. Next goal critical.
Listen, the fans haven't given up on this by any means. They still believe it can be won.
Short changes him with that pass.
Well, that might be that, Peter. Maybe both sides just going to have to settle for the draw now.
Well, there is a look that says it all. A piercing stare.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
He's having a shot! Oh, what about that? Late in the day, this could well be it! The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Yeah, when you're hit on the counter-attack like that, it's like walking into a sucker punch, and they're dazed.
Having turned the game on its head, now can they hold out?
There's still a bit left in it, Peter, but they should.
And that will be it. Well, what a game. Unpredictable to the very end, momentum shifting this way and that. The kind of match as neutral. Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Colours vivid and vibrant, songs loud and proud. The tone for this game is well and truly set. There's the whistle.
Well, Peter, it's easy to heap praise on players that play further up the field, but they couldn't do what they did without the unsung heroes doing the dirty work, and Frank Rijkaard
Takes a shot! He's got away with one there.
That's great industry from the front line there. A lot of chasing, a lot of pressure, and they forced the error.
It's a really well-measured ball. Some good work on the right flank here. Out of play for a throw. And it's Del Piero. Not much subtlety about that challenge. Stojkovic did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. And the shot! It's there!
Oh, he did so well to hold his run and stay on side, Peter. That was really clever.
So, a breakthrough already. And here's Cruyff. And the pass is intercepted. Bernardo Silva goes steaming forward. Played back in. Lovely pass, but shapes to shoot! It's a goal! A quite incredible spell. They are flying. Oh, beautifully dispatched. There was no reaching that.
Well, Peter, I think the keeper knew straight away he was never going to get to it.
Liverpool are doing very nicely, thank you.
This is wonderful front-footed football. The manager will be absolutely thrilled to see his team clicking in every department.
Now it's Del Piero, looking for options for movement. That's tidy. Del Piero. The ball's gone astray. And that's been intercepted.
That's great positioning. So good from him.
Liverpool are looking to break at pace. Oh, well played. That has snuffed out the danger. Spread it left.
They'll want to be quick here. It's breakaway time.
Now it's Batistuta.
You can never be short of runners into space, as long as the space left behind is filled.
Del Piero. Irwin.
That's good play from him.
He has found the way through. Oh, sweet feet. And this is Del Piero. And a shot! They would have... That's another chance! Decent attempt, but not quite good enough. Time perhaps for one last twist before half-time. Kaka. And it's Messi. Looking for the run. Cannavaro gets good distance on it. The pressing's intense, and it's paid off. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other. And here's Zola. Another pass just keeps it ticking over. Played back.
Just too much pressure. Had to go that way.
And we've reached half-time. Any opinion you'd like to express on the first half?
Arsenal really are lucky not to be down by more, Peter. The manager's going to have to come up with something a little special to lift these players. Otherwise, this one's as good as done.
And if you're just back from your break, you've missed very little of the resumption of the second half.
Well, I think they have to be positive despite the scoreline. The one thing they don't want to do, Peter, is give away an early goal. But they can't afford to get too cagey either. So attack with real devilment, go for that goal and see if they can unsettle them.
Mbappe. And here's Batistuta. And that has left him in a heap. Some excellent tackling here, and that one a perfect example. And the whistle's gone, presumably for offside.
Well, the way this game is offering less possession, they'll need to have a very good conversion rate.
Stojkovic. That's a good ball out wide. It's gone out for a throw-in. Showing good feet. Bernardo Silva. Otto picks it up out wide. Great chance! And that's what you call inspired goalkeeping.
Bernardo Silva clearly thought he had the beating of the keeper.
And we have our very first corner. Big header! Oh, that was no routine save.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he?
Knocks it into space. Look at the space here. That is a crunching tackle. Oh, didn't catch it right.
I can't quite believe he's missed that, Peter.
Zola with the short one. Kaká! Arsenal get themselves back into contention.
Oh, we have a very different game on our hands now, all of a sudden. This one's totally up for grabs.
Well, there is a look that says it all. A piercing stare.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out. Well, Peter, just see here how a lot of the attacking players aren't dropping back anymore.
And that means just one thing, I suppose.
Yeah, they just simply want to engage the counter-attack.
Kaká! It's in! Do not write them off! Back they come! A truly wonderful strike, decorated with dip and curl.
And you can see he meant every bit of that, Peter. He had his head up as he went to hit it. He knew his landscape.
And he's done it again. He's got his second. We have ourselves a real game here.
Well, they're very much the better team at the moment, Peter, and no doubt will be looking to cause even more damage here. Arsenal clearly are pushing for the win here, Peter. It's making for a very frantic end to this game. Well, that might be that, Peter. Maybe both sides just going to have to settle for the draw now.
Chance! And kept out by the most elastic of saves.
Well, someone's doing his job properly, Peter, that's for sure.
All hands on deck for this one. Terrific header! No, not the best of headers. Otto is there and he can pick it up. Kaká conjures time and space where few can. Kaká. Rijkaard. Otto. And it's Bernardo Silva. And this is Batistuta. Piqué. And that is it. The referee has seen enough. A draw and a highly unpredictable one. Fair share of momentum shifts, highly entertaining until the very end. Well, how will we look back on that? The noise is just about reaching a crescendo here as these two sides get ready to lock horns. This is football at its finest. Expectations and decibels both rising fast here. Things are heating up and we'll be getting underway very soon. And that gets things running. So, Jim, who would you identify as the key man in this fix? Zola!
Zola made it all look so simple there before he invited his own complications.
Zola. Now it's Dembele. And it's Kaka. And he's played it back. Oh, that's a key interception. Irwin. Oh, good play on the left-hand side here.
That's a shame because it was such a good decision.
Caceres. Foot in. And here's Zola. Mbappe. And a chance! Goal! Arsenal! Iraq finding themselves unexpectedly behind. Can he get on the end of this? Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
Well, the pass wasn't good enough, and he knows it.
Zola picks it up. He's gone for goal! Oh, that was wicked. A truly wicked effort.
Oh, it looked like he tried to give it some extra whip.
And this is Dembele. And it's with the keeper. And if you have just joined us, still just one goal between them. 1-0 the score. Rijkaard is the team's great visionary. Arsenal are seeing a lot of the ball and have a 1-0 lead to show for it. And no, that was never going to make it. Now it's Pele. Irwin. Oh, he's defended very well against those tricky feet. Irwin got a long way forward to join the attack. He has found the way through. And it's Messi. Cafu is one of the key ingredients in the team's attack. Oh, that is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined. Now it's Messi. He's going for goal! It's run loose. Who's going to get there? Rafinha. Now it's Messi. And Messi! It's hit the crossbar. Now that has posed a few awkward questions.
He actually looks pretty annoyed with himself there. He's usually better than that.
Van Dijk makes the interception. Cafu. And it's Piqué. Yaya Toure is a... Referee's had a look, and he's blown his whistle for half-time. Well, it's certainly simmered along nicely so far. Just the one goal in it, and it's all still very much up for grabs.
Yeah, I like the fact that there was a genuine flow to this game, as well as intent. But I can't help feeling that their efforts deserved that little bit more.
Arsenal, the happier of the teams, heading in for half-time, 1-0 up. And we are already promptly back underway.
Arsenal definitely want to carry on in a similar manner, although I would exercise some caution, Peter. You wouldn't want to leave yourself open in the early minutes trying to kill...
Great chance! It's in! A 2-goal lead, and they're firmly in control. Stylish in the extreme, a delicious goal.
Oh, give me this every week. The technical ability was superb, and you can see he meant every bit of this.
Arsenal are now luxuriating in a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, and you have to say that the contrast of moods are very visible now. They really fancy themselves to go and wrap things up.
Nothing wrong with that tackle. Ball won cleanly. And now the breakaway. That is good alertness. Well, there is a look that says it all. A piercing stare.
Ah, he made it look a bit predictable.
That's going to go a long way. Iraq appear to be happy to let their front players stay up front all the time.
Well, it's signalling to the opposition that they're setting themselves up for the counter-attack. It's plain and simple.
Oh, there's a probing ball. Rodri. Zola looking to add to his goal. Irwin. Caceres gets a foot in here. Well seen. Saw that coming.
That was well played, well stopped.
Rafinha. There were better options before the ball was lost. Easy to say from up here, I know. Rafinha hurtling down that right flank. Cafu getting this one clear. Mbappe closing in on the last quarter of an hour. Pass somewhat off target. Tries to play it through. Pele picked out brilliantly. And the whistle's gone, presumably for offside. Rodri. Might be danger here. Or a bust challenge. Well, he's not happy with that challenge, but the referee has let it go. Great defending, strong and determined. Ahead by 2 and just about into the home straight. And it's Kaka. And here's Mbappe. Mbappe! It's loose and there's a race for the ball. Oh, he's been caught napping. Applies the finish! Just off target.
Well, to put it this way, he's probably made better decisions.
And this is Pele. Time added on will be 2 minutes. And that's it. Arsenal can reflect on a job really well done. Superior tactically, physically and mentally. The noise is just about reaching a crescendo here as these two sides get ready to lock horns. This is football at its finest. Well, colour and passion just oozing from the stands here. These fans love their football, and we're about to be dished up a feast of it. Well, we're on the way. Manchester United have gone with what looks like an orthodox 4-4-2, Jim.
Well, the modern version of that is a lot more fluid and flexible than in bygone times. There's a much greater understanding of the need for players to cover forward running, and it enables risk-taking while the gaps are filled. I'm very much a fan of it. There are a lot of people who seem to have kind of ignored it and just put it to bed, but it still works. It's still valid.
And Zola against the crossbar. Here's a chance. Zola. Zola will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent. Irwin making another milestone appearance here. It is game number 400, Jim Beglin.
Well, this couldn't have happened to a better player, Peter. I say big congratulations to him. Someone who's told me on many occasions that
he's having a go. And the keeper has reacted superbly there.
Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played.
Morientes can be a real threat inside the box. No change to the score, 0-0 it remains. Zola has it out wide and in space. Zola going face-to-face with his great rival. Royce. Whatever he had in mind, that was not it. And here's Kaká. And here's Messi. Serginho calmly anticipates. And he's in on goal. And that's been intercepted.
That was well played, well stopped.
And they've got rid. Oh, that's a key interception. And it's Neymar. You have to say that was an exemplary tackle. Stopped him dead in his tracks. Rijkaard. Half-time rapidly approaching, and it's still goalless. Now that looks a decent ball. Cross to the back post. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Oh, good spread. Kaká. And that'll be the last act of the first half. Well, it was a half of could-haves and should-haves, but as the whistle blows, we remain where we started. Plenty for both managers to mull over here. Any strong opinions on the first half?
Yeah, it's a half that's had a limp finish after a decent start, so the manager has to re-energise and re-enthuse his players to come back out pumped.
An intriguing half, lacking only in goals. The score 0-0. And if you're just back from your break, you've missed very little of the resumption of the second half.
Arsenal are probably feeling relatively good about themselves, so I don't think the manager has seen anything to change in his half-time team talk. Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
Oh, this looks sharp. Well, they've got it again. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. And that has been cut short. This looks promising. Spread out to the left. Oh, he's seen that early. Used a certain sixth sense. And here's Mbappe. Now there's a Kaká! Oh, the keeper's done ever so well.
Kaka really must be thinking what he has to do to score there.
It is still anyone's game, 0-0. Now it's Mbappe. Big chance! A collective sigh of relief from the defence.
It's really well read here, but having done the hard part, he'll be slightly disappointed not to make more of it.
That's a pretty loose pass. Cafu is sporting a guilty look after that. Can he finish? Oh, that was a brilliant save.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that. All he needs to do is to place this between the goalposts and basically let them attack it.
They've played it short. Place it in low. Mbappe! Good movement there, but not the best of finishes.
Yeah, some good movement inside the box. No shortage of targets here.
Well seen. Saw that coming.
That's great positioning. So good from him.
Can he get on the end of this? That's a shade optimistic. Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
Yeah, he just didn't seem to get enough on the pass, Peter, did he?
Back into the middle. Shot a goal! They've done it! Finally the breakthrough!
What a time to take the lead. But now comes the dilemma of whether you ought to hold on or go for it again and try and extend your advantage. That's always been the harder option, in my experience. Well, I think it's pretty obvious, Peter, that this emphasises the importance of having willing runners who want to go behind that defence. One good ball, and they're in.
So we have the first goal.
What a great time to score, but it does give the manager a real headache. Does he sit on this lead now, or try and finish it off?
No way through there. Tonali.
I thought it was going to happen then. How many more chances can they realistically expect now?
Koulibaly kept aware, and it is reclaimed easily.
Have beautifully policed that midfield. The opposition have been handcuffed.
Ferdinand promptly onto that, and that is that. 2 minutes to be added on. Added time is up, and there goes the whistle. Well, that was tense. Boy, that was tense. The two sides separated by the game's only... Well, what a scene we have here. There's a real expectant buzz in the stadium, and the players on the pitch are raring to go any minute now. Just listen to that noise. This place is definitely up for it. Let's hope we get a contest worthy of the setting. So it's away we go then. Kayserispor have chosen to go 4-3-3. Jim, how do you see it?
Yeah, Peter, you can look at this formation 1 minute and think that it is 4-3-3, and the next time you check, it'll be 4-5-1, and it's all to do with whether you've got the ball or not, and the wider attacking players being asked to apply defensive discipline too. When it does turn...
Oh, they could be caught out here! Messi going face-to-face. Messi! What a wonderful goal!
Well, once more, it's him, and we can't be surprised because his instinct for doing this is incredible.
What a delicious goal, stroked in like a maestro.
That was magnificent. The way he caught it so perfectly, I think he's even managed to surprise himself, Peter.
So, a breakthrough already. And he's picked out the run. He's through and all alone! And the shot! It's there! Again, in a trice, and they are soaring! One sweeping move, executed with deadly efficiency.
Arsenal are such an adept counter-attacking team. They produced something out of nothing there. A few seconds was all it took for them to convert a defensive situation into a goal, and it's very impressive.
Things starting to look very comfortable.
This is wonderful.
Shapes to shoot! And he was there to get a vital touch.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
Kayserispor with their first corner, the first in the game for either side, actually. Not pretty, but it gets the job done. Goes for a shot! Iniesta! Immaculate! That is a gem! An absolute gem! Well, how's that for a class finish? This is threatening to become a really good game.
Well, there's a real sense that the momentum has shifted here, Pete.
And he shoots! No mistake! They are right back in business.
Well, I always thought they had it in them, Peter. They upped the quality as needed, and once they got going, they were awfully hard to stop.
Just gorgeous. The most glorious, delicious of touches, followed up with an unerring finish.
Speed of thought, speed of action.
And Zola! Oh, fine stop from the keeper.
Zola is offering a wry smile there.
Looking for options for movement. He's gone for goal! Now that has posed a few awkward questions.
Yep, certainly could have been something so much more.
Iniesta plays the game a step ahead of almost anyone. That's a delicate pass. Opts to play it back. Oh, well played. Well, they're looking at the referee, but he's waved play on. Irwin going full tilt down the left. And it's Kaka. Neither of these two want to come off second best. Costa Curta is there, and he can get that clear. Rijkaard. He won't be happy with that one. Cafu. Quality ball. Opts for safety. Messi is onto it in a flash. Mbappe. Zola. Messi.
Pretty robust defending.
That's a foul, no two ways about it. I do think he's feeling the effects of that tackle. Oh, it's come off the upright. And we hit half-time. Arsenal are finally getting a much-needed break. It's been absolutely breathless stuff so far. And neither side holding back here. It has been quite a half, this. Terrific half. 4 goals split evenly. Beautifully set up for the second period to follow. So it's back to business. And it's Messi. Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. Now it's Owen. Iniesta. Rijkaard is the team's great visionary. Nothing wrong with that tackle. Ball won cleanly. He's had a fair tumble under that challenge. Rijkaard demonstrating his defensive quality there. Rijkaard takes control of it and he's on the move. Rijkaard. Kaka. Now then, the ball's come loose. And it's Kaka. Now it's Mbappe. Irwin. Zola. Now, can they get him away? Oh, that's neat. It's good pressure, good intensity.
Yeah, and they've got to be careful, Peter, that they don't allow their attempt to snuff out the threat now to turn into indiscipline.
And this is Owen. Rijkaard. That is a jarring tackle, but apparently nothing wrong with it. No, he wasn't going to be fooled. Baresi did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. Rijkaard. Yaya Toure. Arsenal looking to pass their way through. Now the ball's gone astray. Another pass just keeps it ticking over. Kaka.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
Great ball, and Kaka! Oh, should have put that away.
Oh, unlucky. There's the urgency they need, and it nearly brought them a goal.
And it's Messi. No, that's been intercepted. And he's managed to get rid.
They've got to make this nice and quick.
Into the last 5 minutes. Mbappe! Mbappe! Rijkaard clears it away.
Well, that might be that, Peter. Maybe both sides just going to have to settle for the draw now.
And he was quick to react. Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. So it's ended all square, both sides showing battling qualities and neither willing to give in. Mbappe picking up the man of the... So bring it on. Hype, expectation, emotion. The game yet to kick off. The excitement already palpable. Well, it looks like a big game, sounds like a big game. Everyone involved is absolutely up for it. And we're underway. Well, there's the man we're all here to see, the thriller-minute Neymar. He really does turn every game into a showbiz occasion. So I wonder, Jim, what is in today's show?
Well, plenty, we hope, Peter. Being the kind of player who likes to take it upon himself to win, whether it's his vision and creativity or being more direct in providing a threat up front, we're bound to see something special, I hope.
Because we always have in the past.
Indeed.
Lovely pass, but can he get there? Shevchenko! And that was probably asking just too much.
Well, he's clearly in one of those moods. I think even he was asking perhaps a little too much from himself then.
And this is Forlan. Goes for a shot! Whistle's gone and the referee has given a penalty. Arsenal really could have done without this. To open the scoring. 1-0, never any doubt. Not a twitch, not a blink.
That's calm for you. Nothing is going to distract him.
So the game's first significant moment, and it's come earlier than perhaps we anticipated. And here's Mbappe. Takes the shot! Just off target.
Very speculative with little threat, if any, for the keeper.
Kaká is there and he can pick it up.
Arsenal are really in a position where patience and prudence will serve them best. Time's on their side.
Well, there's your danger man, a title that is entirely justified. And this is Forlan. He has found the way through. Forlan! Borussia Dortmund with the corner. They're first. Dealt with nicely by the defence. Arsenal have the chance to go the other way. That's headed upfield. Yaya Toure. Zola going face-to-face with his great rival. Mateus. Now it's Forlan. And it's Neymar. Oh, that's a vigorous challenge. Oh, that is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined. Oh, well played, well sorted out. That's a little off target. Yaya Toure is someone so often referred to as the defender's defender. Shevchenko. Mateus. Kaká. Now it's Mbappe. Irwin. Zola. It's come through and he's had a quick look inside. There's no... Shoots! In he goes again. Really well taken goal. Arsenal are level. Some heroic goalkeeping, but even that couldn't save them this time.
Well, it still had to be finished off, so well done to the goal scorer, but the keeper should have done a lot better.
And the whistle goes for half-time. Nothing to separate the two teams at
Guys,
half-time.
welcome to
They've both given
good
it a
morning.
really good go, and they head
जो
into the
लोग नए
break.
हैं हमारे चैनल
All
को
square.
सब्सक्राइब कर देना एक लाइक कर देना इस टीम को
Arsenal are level pegging at half-time then, and it's a finely balanced game. 1-1 the score. So we're into the second 45. Oh, good read.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Aim forwards. Now it's Shevchenko. Well seen, saw that coming.
That was well played, well stopped.
Looking to play him in. Zola picks it up out wide. It's all a little bit desperate, but it's got the job done.
Yeah, they showed a vulnerability until the move was stifled. That'll have stirred a little concern.
Toure gets over and intercepts. Now it's Neymar. Oh, well played. That has snuffed out the danger. And this is Forlan. And he rises! It's bounced back off the post. Oh, he's going to be pulled back for that one. And he's going to have his name taken. Irwin. Piqué. Cafu. For a moment you felt that was going somewhere, but they'll have to go again. And this is Forlan. The muscular approach does pay off here. Zola. Zola will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent. Knocks it into space. And the assistant referee has his flag raised for offside. So time for change, and this one has been on the cards for a little while. And here's Mbappe. Schneider. And it's Messi. Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. Caresses it through. Now it's Messi. Has a shot! It's loose now and they want to get it back. And that has been knocked clear.
Arsenal clearly are pushing for the win here, Peter. It's making for a very frantic end to this game.
Costa Curta. Messi making good progress on the right-hand side. Pinches it off him.
Well, he was given the time and room initially to hold on to the ball, but eventually he was squeezed that bit harder and the task became too much. I think he's got to be a little quicker in his distribution then and get others into the match.
Now it's Villa.
Well, that was well positioned and well pinched. They can't hurt with their backs to goal. I think we might be done here, Peter. I don't see there being enough time for them to try again.
And this is on the finish! Oh, it's fallen kindly here. Oh, yes, it's there! Late in the day, this could well be it! And he's only too grateful to capitalise on the keeper's misfortune.
Oh, listen, last line of defence and you don't get it right, then you're paying a visit to your net.
Having turned the game on its head, now can they hold out?
Well, look, Peter, I feel I've got to stress that there's still time for another, so we can't be too presumptuous yet.
And just to confirm that the referee did issue a yellow card for that earlier incident. And it's Iniesta. That's that, the end. So the winners, bullish and belligerent after a remarkable collective effort, fall behind they... Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Well, it looks like a big game, sounds like a big game. Everyone involved is absolutely up for it. There's the whistle. Jim, you've played in games of this nature. Who can make the difference?
Yeah, Marquinhos, he's one of the toughest and most competitive centre-backs in the business. He's the kind of...
He's had a shot! Goal! Arsenal! An extraordinary start! Breakthrough in next to no time!
That's the perfect confidence boost they needed. Brilliant.
Just so calm under pressure, and he managed to fashion a fine finish.
Such a well-worked finish. It looked like he was going to be shut down, but he thrives in situations like that.
So the game's first significant moment, and it's come earlier than perhaps we anticipated. Mateus, ready to try one.
The keeper is ultra busy in trying to just get...
Mateus! Oh, he's pulled off a fine save.
Absolutely terrific. Terrific reflexes. Goalkeeping at its very best.
Club America with the corner. They're first. Piqué gets it away. Bebeto. Arsenal have the chance to go the other way. And he's managed to get free. Plays a sharp... Oh, shooting chance! And he looked every bit the assured keeper there.
Zola is offering a wry smile there. Well, height could make all the difference on these set pieces.
Zola plays it short. Great defending, strong and determined. He's shifting through the gears here. Knocks it into space. Played into space out wide. Piqué cuts it out. Zola is someone with real dynamite in his boots. Has a look and plays it forward. Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. Steaming on goalwards. Arsenal leading here thanks to that early goal. And the score is 1-0. Yaya Toure. And it's Piqué. Irwin. And this is Raul. Raul unable to make it happen for all his good intentions. Could be danger here. It's loose now and they want to get it back. Cafu did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. Picked up, and Messi! Oh, split-second reaction.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
Arsenal are one up and looking surprisingly comfortable. And he welcomes it, takes a shot! And kept out by the most elastic of saves.
I think he's done great there, both reading it and dealing with it.
Corner number 2 then. And it's been taken short. Zanetti was in no mood for any of that. And now they can spring out of defence. He's found a way through. Deep into stoppage time. Oh, it's come loose. Irwin herring after the ball here. And that'll be the last act of the first half. Well, there were plenty of talking points in that first half, but just the one goal. It's still anybody's game here.
Yeah, I like the fact that there was a genuine flow to this game, as well as intent. But I can't help feeling that their efforts deserved that little bit more.
Arsenal have made the crucial breakthrough, and they're looking pretty satisfied at the break. And the game has already resumed here. Arsenal carrying a 1-goal lead. Arsenal finding their passes. Rijkaard. Driving on and making good progress. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. Arsenal can breathe again, just.
Well, I thought they got off lightly there.
Roll! He's been bundled over, that is a foul. And that's going to be a booking.
Well, it was deliberate, it was cynical, and you have to understand the frustration of being denied a clear opportunity, but it had to be done.
He's having a good look here. And this is a great chance to get themselves back square. Mateus! Well, now it's a race for the ball. And it's Rijkaard.
Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn.
He might be in here! Raul. Oh, look at the space here.
That's exactly what they need to keep doing. Carry on plugging away and eventually you might just get that little break.
This is a really front-footed approach.
A lucky break would certainly help their cause now.
Great ball, and he's in here. Whistle's gone, and the referee has given a penalty. So a big, big chance now from 12 yards. The chance to pull further clear. Calm as you like, and they're running away with it. Not a twitch, not a blink.
Played a game of double bluff here, I think.
Things starting to look very comfortable.
We're looking at a very different game now. The command has been established.
Now it's Messi. That is a jarring tackle, but apparently nothing wrong with it. A slightly better ball would have led to a very different outcome there.
Arsenal clearly should have gone for the easier pass. Now they'll have to quickly regroup.
Kukçu.
Mbappe really was well marshalled there because he was denied the opportunity to turn.
That's good pressing, squeezing the play. Messi is being harried and hassled.
Yeah, and they've got to be careful, Peter, that they don't allow their attempt to snuff out the threat now to turn into indiscipline.
And that is a little undercooked. Oh, that's superb. Real chance! Now that is commitment to the cause. Club America have their second corner now. Van Dijk clears it away. And now a sudden chance to counter. Oh, what a mistake! He has found the way through. Chance, surely! Yes! And he is just ripping it up. And wow, he has given that a right old hit.
It's almost poetry in motion, Peter, isn't it? The way he wraps his foot round the ball so effortlessly.
Takes a shot. And that has kept the keeper on his toes. Not too much more here than seeing out time, and time is very nearly seen out. And that's it. Arsenal, just a thrill to witness here. Quick, slick, and such fun. You really would feel... Well, what a sight this is. The colour, the choreography, the camaraderie. The fans have pulled out all the stops to make this a monumental occasion. And the mood is boisterous. It is a perfect ambience for the central characters who are ready now to perform. We have already started here.
The midfield three, Peter, I think are going to be key in this lineup because it's a very expansive system.
Yeah, it certainly looks a very front-footed approach.
It is. And with the front three, especially the wide men running at and beyond the defence, there's going to be an awful lot asked of the midfield. They have to supply those balls the attack can run onto, while at the same time maintaining the team's overall shape by linking the front and back.
Kaká. Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be. Raul receives it in a good position here. Not much subtlety about that challenge. And this is Messi. He's picked his way through. And the shot! And it's hit the woodwork and out! Well, that wasn't too dissimilar to the previous attempt.
Arsenal really can be very happy with the way they're going about things, Peter. They'll want to capitalise on this good spell, though.
Still goalless at the moment.
Yaya Toure will be key here, Peter. His versatility and drive makes him a nightmare for the opposition.
He was actually a much more conventional holding midfield player in his younger days, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he's come on in leaps and bounds since then. In fact, he's at his best when partnered with a defensive midfielder like that, because it means he has license to just join the attack.
So he's benefited a lot from his new role.
Yeah, it's brought so much more out of him. He's a true all-round player now.
Rijkaard is always scanning the pitch for targets. Knocks it into space. Looking for options for movement. Oh, that's fabulous. Zola. Great chance! Goal! Arsenal!
भाई ये मैच हो जाएगा बाद उसके बाद तुम्हारे साथ खेलूंगा ठीक है गुड मॉर्निंग सभी को जो तो नया आए हो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर देना भाई
Piercing and with pinpoint accuracy he forces it through.
Yeah, Peter, I think we've got to give the keeper some slack here because he didn't have the greatest view of that, but you've got to give the scorer his due as well. I mean, he had that sharpness of mind and clinical edge.
So we have the first goal.
Well, I'd remind those players, Peter, that concentration will be key for a while now, as you don't want to hand the momentum straight back to your opposition.
Rijkaard. And now the breakaway. Great ball if he can get there. And he's certainly onside here. There's a no-nonsense tackle. A reprieve, albeit perhaps momentary.
It looks very much like they'd be happy to settle for this narrow lead at the break.
Adriano gets on the end of things as a matter of habit. And it's Tonali. Stood up well to him there. Tonali really struggling to influence the game.
He needs a minder, and one of his teammates should be picking up on that, and quickly.
Oh, good read.
That's great positioning. So good from him.
Now it's Mbappe. Plays a sharp little ball here. He could be in here. Oh, he's got that all wrong, and it's a penalty. Arsenal presented with a golden opportunity here. To further improve their position of comfort. Calm as you like, and they're running away with it. A time for a cool head, and that is precisely what he showed. And we hit half-time.
Well, it's hard to say whether a 2-goal advantage under these circumstances is decisive or not, but so far, I haven't really seen enough to indicate that the opposition can come out in the second half and improve to that degree.
Arsenal sitting pretty here at half-time, 2-0 up. Well, what a sight this is. The colour, the choreography, the camaraderie. The fans have pulled out all the stops to make this a monumental occasion. Colours vivid and vibrant, songs loud and proud. The tone for this game is well and truly set. And that gets things running. Now this man, Yaya Toure, Jim, midfielders don't come much more complete and dominant than him, do they?
Well, the envy of so many opposition.
Shot a goal! Neither of these two want to come off second best. Rijkaard did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. Just a talking to, I think. Yes, it is. Rijkaard. And the pass is intercepted. Knocks it into space. Irwin. Can he get it through? You have to say that was an exemplary tackle. Stopped him dead in his tracks. Messi going face-to-face with his great rival. Neymar is always playing with one eye on the spectacular. Oh, good read.
That was well played, well stopped. They'll want to make the most of this turnover.
Cafu. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Arsenal, so far, providing no real test at all for the goalkeeper. It's Rui Costa! And the keeper has reacted superbly there.
I think he's done great there, both reading it and dealing with it.
Irwin. Zola. Neymar. That pass has been well intercepted. Very nearly half an hour gone here. To Rui Costa.
If they want to counter, they could do with more speed.
Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. And it's Rui Costa. Played into space. And it's hoisted clear.
That's just playing it safe and simple.
Rafael Varane. And that's the end of that. It all started well enough. Well, now here's a good battle, bicep to bicep. Now it's Pato. Great ball, great chance! Goal!
And for such a big name in your side to register very close to the break, not only creates a real buzz in your dressing room during the break, but dispirits the opposition too and sets up a decent chance to go on and finish this game to their liking now.
One sweeping move, executed with deadly efficiency.
Look, if you want to be effective on the break, then the key element is always pace. That's what really rips defences apart, and it's difficult to find an answer to it when it's applied like that.
So the first moment of real significance.
Listen, when it comes to goals, Peter, in this team, he's always the #1 contender, and he's done it again.
Kaká.
Pretty robust defending.
Well, that's pretty clear. It is a foul. And just to confirm that the referee did issue a yellow card for that earlier incident. So the last big chance perhaps before half-time.
Well, it's quite simple. They have the best man for the job on it.
Zola! Oh, the ball's run loose here. And the first 45... Here we go again then.
Arsenal can really do with some bigger names standing up here. At times they didn't even look as if they knew what they were doing.
Messi, Maldini deals with that comfortably. Neymar. And it's Neymar. Davids has quite the footballing brain. He's almost never outsmarted. Cleared away and claimed it back swiftly. Nicely aimed pass. Now it's Mbappe. Looking for options for movement. Kaká will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent. Arsenal still trailing by 1 and looking here to take it up a notch after the break. Maldini. Your impression so far, Jim?
Arsenal are not doing enough to get themselves back in the game. They're not as threatening as their opposition.
He's been bundled over. That is a foul. And no surprise, that's a booking. Zola is behind this one.
Well, he knows he has the ability to put this exactly where he wants. He'll always back himself.
Mbappe! Oh, that was a brilliant save.
Mbappe is offering a wry smile there.
Is a man so notably robust and understandably energised after his goal. Not the most accurate pass. Whatever he had in mind, that was not it. And the through ball. And he's away. Can he finish? Oh, that's a foul, and the whistle's gone. And he's going to have his name taken. I do think he's feeling the effects of that tackle.
Look, Peter, what they need now are cool heads and discipline, and instead it looks like they've got a liability in their side.
Now, this could be a pivotal moment. Dying minutes, free kick, great position. And he's gone backward here. In he goes again! Oh, split-second reaction.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
And again, they run up against stubborn defending. Maldini. And that is that. Quite a game, and one that was always on a knife edge until the very final whistle. No shortage of endeavour.
हेलो फ्रेंड्स, हेलो, गुड मॉर्निंग बोलो भाई। जो बंदा नया है चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर देना भाई। अब कोई खेलेगा फिर मैच? पूरा नेट का इशू चल रहा है, ठीक है। भाई कोई खेलेगा फैन मैच तो जल्दी आ जाओ भाई। रूम कोड है 11608353, जल्दी आ जाओ भाई।
Welcome to those who have joined us all here on a beautiful, clear evening. The conditions contributing to a fantastic atmosphere in the stands. This really is the place to be. I'm Peter Drury, and this is Jim Beglin. A delight to have him on board.
Glad to be here, Peter, and I'm ready to rumble.
There's nothing quite like match day, especially here. This crowd doesn't do ordinary, and we should be in for something very special. We have already started here. Giorgio Chiellini, Jim. Now there is a defender who loves to defend.
Yeah.
Shoots! Oh, that's really good play on the right. He's driving forward. Bellingham. Thuram. And it's Rodri. Lovely pass, but can he get there? Well, the run has been sold a little bit short there.
Spain clearly didn't help themselves by telegraphing that one. It was always going to be intercepted.
That pass has been well intercepted. Ronaldinho, Pelé. Schmeichel claims comfortably. And now the breakaway. Nicely aimed pass. Well, quality clearly deserted him at the crucial moment.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
Now it's Messi. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. Now it's Ronaldinho. Messi. Plays a sharp little ball here. Mbappe showed plenty of zest in getting to the ball, but couldn't quite sort it out. Looking to play him in. And this is Ronaldo. Cristiano Pele! Goal! Spain! And it's Spain who take the lead. Really tidily gathered and ultimately a more than tidy finish.
Well, talk about making the most of a momentary lapse in concentration. He was just that little bit quicker and smarter than everyone else around him.
So we have the first goal.
Look, he's the one everyone expects to put the ball in the net. That's what he's paid to do.
Rodri. Oh, some tackle that. That is a jarring tackle, but apparently nothing wrong with it. Caught offside that time. Tries to dink it through.
Arsenal are really in a position where patience and prudence will serve them best. Time's on their side.
Passing is crisp and sharp. Well, it just petered out. No penetration at all, having had a great deal of the ball. That is lovely. And here's Kaka. Opts to play it back. Now it's Mbappe. Well, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time.
That appeared to be an inevitable outcome. Too much traffic.
Nicely weighted ball. He's in a good position here. Thuram, always a very imposing presence at the back. Oh, good-looking ball. And here's Zola. Zola going face-to-face with his great rival.
Arsenal certainly could do with a positive spell for the remainder of this half, just to set the tone for what's to come.
Into the final 5 minutes of the first half. Well, they've got it again. Great vision. It looks a good ball through. And this is Zola, and he shoots! Sticks it away! Arsenal are level. And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Just when they thought they may be in at one end, they end up shipping a goal at the other, and it's all due to wonderful counter-attacking. They hardly had time to even react, and there's only one word to describe that: clinical.
And that has added a whole new complexion to the game.
Well, I'd happily watch this every week, Peter. This is exactly what you want from a big game.
And this could be the final action of the first half. He's got tall. And that's what you call inspired goalkeeping. And the whistle goes for half-time. Nothing to separate the two teams at half-time. They've both given it a really good go, and they head into the break all square. How do you look back on the first 45 minutes?
Arsenal really showed some resolve in that first half, Peter, after going behind. So I think the message from the manager will be quite a positive one. Keep going and keep doing what you've been doing, because it's pretty good.
Arsenal are level pegging at half-time then, and it's a finely balanced game. 1-1 the score. And if you're just back from your break, you've missed very little of the resumption of the second half. Messi. Toure gets good distance on it. And he's only too happy to take that back. Spain looking to pass their way through. Great ball, and he's in here. A lot of space ahead of him. Oh, that is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined. Kaka can so cleverly bypass the press. Mbappe! That's the keeper's ball. And it's Messi. Well, there was an element of promise insofar as they kept the ball well, but they did very little with it. That is a brilliant interception. That's ruffled a few feathers, but well dealt with. Just about up to the hour now. Now that's well seen too. Piqué. It's a good run down the left-hand side. Now Yaya Toure. Van Dijk. Cafu. Played into space. And it's Bellingham. Kaká. And that interception was most necessary.
That was well played, well stopped.
Great defending, strong and determined. And he's forced to go back. And it's Messi. You have to say that was an exemplary tackle. Stopped him dead in his tracks. Well, the idea was a good one. The execution of it, not quite so.
He made it look a bit predictable.
Oh, good take and a good air. Big chance! Goal, Spain! And they're back in front. And that will surely go down as one of the easiest goals he could ever score.
Yeah, it's simply tragic defending when a renowned finisher is ignored. It's how he built his reputation.
Well, this is what we've been waiting for.
Listen, when it comes to goals, Peter, in this team, he's always the #1 contender, and he's done it.
And Zola! He's beaten the keeper, but hit the post. Danger averted for now. Played out to the left flank. Messi making good progress on the right-hand side. Some excellent tackling here, and that one a perfect example.
हाँ भाई, इसके बाद तुम्हारा साथ खेलूंगा, ठीक है? और बस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दो, ठीक है?
Pelé. Not the most accurate pass.
Spain surely have to be commended for their drive and desire. Most teams would be taking the easier defensive route by now.
Oh, super ball! And that's a dangerous ball. And he's straight offside.
I think we're about to see a frenetic finish. No half measures from here.
Rodri. Just 5 minutes remaining now. Van Dijk. Now, can he find a finish? Cafu is always looking to play quality balls. Zola.
Zola really has the confidence and skill to be able to hold the ball up like that until support arrives a little sooner, and just maybe there he overdid it slightly and should have released it because the
So that's it. It is all over. Well, that turned out to be quite a game. Both sides committed, determined, driven, and whilst you might argue to the contrary, back.
आयुष भाई कैक तुम खेलेगा? चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दो, जो मेरे नए देख रहे हो। गुड मॉर्निंग सभी लोगों को। थैंक्स ब्रो थैंक्स ठीक है तुम्हारे साथ खेलो
Well, what a sight this is. A beautiful evening and the promise of a match that will really get the juices flowing. I'm Peter Drury, and it's a pleasure to be alongside Jim Beglin.
Thanks, Peter. It's a pleasure and a privilege for me to be here.
Expectations and decibels both rising fast here. Things are heating up and we'll be getting underway very soon. There's the whistle. Who do you think this turns on, Jim?
Well, this guy, Rodri, was one of Europe's most coveted midfielders when he was on the market and often seen as an integral component in the next generation of Spanish midfielders. He's got that outstanding quality of being able to shield the ball particularly well, and that is key to any holding midfielder.
I'm thinking the same. He will be a central feature, no doubt. Zola! Against the crossbar! I'll be a bit disappointed with that.
He actually looks pretty annoyed with himself there. He's usually better than that.
Bellingham. Chiellini. Ronaldinho. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Has a shot! Ronaldo! Superb!
Well, this is already looking rather ominous for the opposition. When a player of his calibre can open up the scoring with a brilliantly classy finish, it could be a very long match for that defence to prevent it happening again.
That is so good, such sharp skills and such a delicious finish.
Well, I think he was saying to his teammates, how dare you doubt me?
I doubt very much that this was in the script. He is through here. Thuram. Pele. Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. Zola. Quarter of an hour played. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. He has a look up. Ronaldinho gets flagged offside.
Well, I wouldn't quite advise they should resort to risk-taking at this stage. There's plenty of time left yet.
It's a promising position. He's got away. Chooses to go back. Kaká! He's keen, determined to have his say.
Well, the breakthrough hasn't come yet, Peter, but you do feel they're upping the ante here. They'll get their reward if they can stick at this.
And that's the end of that. It all started well enough. Takes a shot! It's a carbon copy of the previous miss. Rodri. That is lovely. Shot a goal! Just not quite happening for him just now.
All he needs to do is to place this between the goalposts and basically let them attack it.
Zola with the short one. It's going to be another corner, I think. Corner number 2, then. And it's been taken short. Zola finds himself offside.
Spain clearly are trying to establish themselves as a team that likes to retain the ball, Peter.
And it's a good watch, Jim, isn't it?
Well, it is. And it's always a pleasure for me to see a team move the ball in silky fashion like this. But you know what's coming next, Peter. It has to be with a mean cutting edge.
Chance! Same again, same outcome. Arsenal have their third corner. Zola plays it short. Spain are looking to go forward now. Now this could be a chance. Shoots! It's there! They have hauled themselves right back into it.
Well, I always thought they had it in them, Peter. They upped the quality as needed, and once they got going, they were awfully hard to stop.
Oh, beautifully dispatched. There was no reaching that.
Just way, way too good, Peter. The keeper was never going to stop it.
That has certainly made things interesting.
This is exactly the kind of contest you'd expect when you have so much class from both sides. The next goal is going to be so significant.
Zola is a player who barely needs an invitation to shoot. Well-timed, excellent interception. Well, the runner's been sold a little bit short there.
Well, I think the opposition saw that pass coming a mile off, and it wasn't the best decision.
And that is out and behind. It's a good block. And they've got rid. And now they can spring out of defence. Chips it through. It looked as though that might lead to something quite promising, but it turned out that that was not the case. Irwin.
They've got to be quick moving this forward.
He's in a great position here. Chiellini. Ronaldinho. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. And the whistle goes for half-time. Nothing to separate the two teams at half-time. They've both given it a really good go, and they head into the break all square. Any opinion you'd like to express on the first half?
Well, I don't think either side will have too much to complain about or worry about, Peter. 1-1 is a fair reflection of the game so far. So it'll be fascinating to see how both teams go about trying to establish a little more control in this second half.
Well, it's been a tight game, but one that's packed with incident and talking points. A decent watch this, and it's 1-1 at half-time. So we're just... He's going for goal! And that's what you call inspired goalkeeping.
Well, someone's doing his job properly, Peter, that's for sure.
Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Piqué is one of those players who's known for reading the game better than anyone. Irwin goes on a run down the left wing. Picked out brilliantly. And he's straight offside. And it's Messi. Aimed beyond the defence. Toure gets good distance on it. Spain have their second corner now. Cleared without complication. They've won a throw in. Crosses it in. And he gets rid in a hurry. Rijkaard gets it away. For a moment you felt that was going somewhere, but they'll have to go again. Chiellini. It's a searching pass. Arsenal finding their passes. Bellingham. And it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Tries to pass it, and he shoots! There it is! And smartly reclaimed. And they're not going to make any further progress now. Piqué is very much of the none-shall-pass school of defending. Looking for options for movement. And that is expertly dealt with. Messi. Plays a sharp little ball here. He's onside! Rijkaard. That's good pressing, squeezing the play. They're urging him to shoot. He's having a shot! Goal, Spain! And again they hit the front. Terrible error, duly punished.
Oh, how can they be so careless, Peter? It's too casual. They were never going to get away with that kind of sloppiness.
Spain go into the lead. That's a lovely, neat pass.
Spain clearly have been instructed to kill this off. Offence is the best form of defence.
Messi. There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. Now, can they get him away? Has a shot!
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
Arsenal are looking desperate here, short on time and options.
At least they're going about it as they should, having brought this on themselves.
Van Dijk did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. Chance for a shot! Sticks it away!